and welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going over an email that was sent to me by Mary Rowan, and she pointed out two instances where children may have seen something that we can't, something on the other side of the veil. So I want to start with this one that's on Facebook. Let me just read the description of the video here. It says, "The veil is thin for these babies and children. My son stood up while playing toys and pointed at our TV while saying something. I immediately got my phone and was able to video what my 2-year-old was saying while pointing at the speaker alone on the screen. Jesus hiding." Okay, so look, I'm not going to doubt this. You know why? Because from my own experience. Now, my kids haven't done anything necessarily like this, but like we have our son and he's still pretty young. He's autistic. Um, but he like almost immediately took to the idea of Jesus Christ. And it's like one of his favorite things to say, as a matter of fact. Whenever we like point to a picture, he never shies away of like saying Jesus Christ. Like he doesn't talk a whole lot. Because he's autistic, his speech is developing a lot slower. But this is like one of the key things that he just does not have a problem with. And he even like, I can see in him that he almost has like an excitement about it. And I've had similar things with my other two girls when they were young. Just like you could tell that there was some kind of spark in them talking about Christ. Like I think they really do remember and know to an extent what that's all about. It even happened with my brother. I remember because he's like 7 years younger than me, and so I remember when he was about this age, and it was like the same type of thing. So I don't doubt this at all. I don't doubt that this little boy was seeing Christ or something. I don't know. Who knows what he was actually seeing or what he was sensing, but he was seeing and or sensing Christ's presence. Okay, she continues, "I testify the church is true. Do your best to be a good person and Christ will make up the difference. Try to make your wrongs right. Strive to be a little better than the day before. Love your family." So I find it interesting. I'll put the link below to the video so you can see the whole thing. But I find stuff like this pretty stunning. And then there's another story. Okay, so it says here, "Do you believe children can see things we can't?" For me, the answer is yes. And it talks about President Monson's last talk of 2015. Not his last talk before he passed away, but in October conference 2015. I guess he had an issue giving that last talk of the conference, and he kind of says here, leaning on the podium and looked like he was about to collapse. And there's children that say that they could see angels on either side of him. I found out something else that was going on, and I don't think that this is what the children were seeing because I don't think it was within view of the cameras, but I thought that I would share this too. This is from LDS Living. It says, most of you probably did not see what was happening behind President Monson at the end of his talk. I was on the floor just a few rows from the very front of the conference center with a very clear view of the scene. You might have noticed that President Monson really struggled to finish the last couple of minutes of his talk, and especially the last 30 seconds. I was afraid for him. I thought he might faint, pass out, or something worse. And then my heart melted when I saw behind President Monson was President Uchtdorf on the edge of his seat, almost halfway standing up with his arms stretched out, ready to catch the prophet at any moment if he fell. You could see the worried expression on President Uchtdorf's face as well as focused determination. He was on high alert and was ready to catch him. As soon as President Monson said amen, President Uchtdorf was immediately at his side and carried him back to his seat safe and sound. And then President Monson went on to live for a couple more years and passed away at the very beginning of 2018. So, but there's this story here. This is from the YouTube channel Called to Serve, and I'll put the link for this below as well if you want to see this. This is just kind of one of those like text slideshow type things with like stock footage. So uh, I, I don't think that this is the actual picture. I think this is not just stock footage, but maybe no. I don't know. I don't know. But I mean, you'll have to tell me what you think. Are you on the same page with me? Do you believe that children are sensitive to things that are on the other side of the veil? Maybe you have your own stories, and if it's too sacred to share, then don't share it. But just use your best judgment and put what you can in the comments below. Um, I'd be really interested to see, you know, and maybe we'll be privy to this after this life, or maybe even in the millennium, what kind of things were going on uh, that we were never aware of. If we had full access to all information, and if we knew what children were able to see that maybe we can't. Um, it makes me wonder, does the Lord do that? If this is a real thing, and I do think it is, does the Lord do that maybe just to help us kind of like ease into this, traumatic experience of mortality, right? Because coming here is a traumatic experience. Um, there's a lot of good in this life, but um, it's also pretty rough, and I just wonder if like maybe he kind of out of mercy and love kind of eases us into it, and there's kind of like that transitional phase where it's not just like all of a sudden you're somewhere new, unfamiliar. I mean, I don't know, maybe, and who knows, maybe there's only certain people that as children have these kind of experiences. I don't know. I can't say for myself that I really remember anything from when I was young, because and maybe I did, but maybe the Lord kind of takes that knowledge away as we start to grow, and once we're kind of settled into our new state of being in this lone and dreary world, right? Um, but I just think it's amazing. I really, really, after this life, I want to see everything that's happened. I want to see all the miracles. That never see the light of day, just those private miracles that people have. And I'm not talking about necessarily angelic visitations or anything too crazy, although I think that those do happen sometimes as well. I'd like to see, the three Nephites and John, and I'd like to see what they've been doing this whole time, and who they've been appearing to, and how they've been appearing to people, and what kind of effects they've had on the people that they've interacted with, right? Um, I think there's so much going on in the world, um, in all of creation, and we can only see such a small, small portion of what's actually happening. I wouldn't be surprised if, like, once the veil is taken off our minds, if there's just like so much more going on than what we realize. you know we've talked just a tiny little bit about near-death experiences on the channel. Now, again, we've been cautioned to be careful with things like that, like when we're hearing it from other people, simply because, um, well, for one thing, for our own part, those are sacred experiences, and we should be careful with who we share those experiences with. But there's also people that as bad as it sounds, there's people that do make things up for attention. So we always have to kind of like take things with a grain of salt and try and use our best judgment, and have our primary focus on the gospel and what we know about the gospel, because um, we just don't want to get confused by other people's experiences. Maybe they don't understand, or could, in some cases, be actually just making up. But I do also believe in the phenomenon of near-death experiences, and it sounds, it just sounds amazing. The descriptions that they have of the after this. Now, of course, they don't see, even they, I don't think, see the whole picture, because, like I've said before on the channel, if you have a near-death experience, We know that this life is a test, and it's like we're in a classroom, and you're called out of the classroom and asked, okay, you can stop your test now if you want to, or if you want, you can go back and so in that kind of state, I don't think that all the secrets of the universe are going to be revealed to you. It's kind of like a waiting room. So the one thing that we do know is that everyone that's told a near-death experience has come back. So we don't have anybody to tell us what happens after that point, with the exception of, the scriptures. We know that there are people currently that are resurrected. Others are in the spirit world. So we have those kind of details, but they're vague. But we have a general sense from the gospel what happens after this life and what to expect. But I think there's a lot of details, and so much more. And yeah, it's all very incredible. So anyway, yeah, let me know what you think below in the comments. Again, be careful with anything that you choose to share. If it's really sacred, you should probably just keep it to yourself. But use your own best judgment. Be careful who you share things with, just in general, right? You don't want to cast pearls before swine and have them stomp on those pearls. They're special. And I guess one last thought. I think we're going to start to see a lot of things happen as we move closer and closer toward the second coming. And if we ourselves can, purify ourselves, work on repentance, become a Zion people, I think there's more things that can happen as we get closer to this event of Christ coming. So I think that we should prepare. I think incredible things are going to manifest themselves. I think we have a very exciting future in store. Let's just put it that way. Alright, if you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe, like this video if you liked it. Make sure to share it, and I'll talk to you guys later.